we have allowed ourselves to be conformed with the idea, that marriage is just some artificial, constraint that those Christians put on you. You don't have to be married to have a baby. Well, we know that because, the reproductive system is not dependent upon the presentation of a marriage license.
Exactly.
You show the license, everything automatically unlocked. No, that's not how it works.
Right.
I mean, it's a biological thing. So no, you don't have to be married. But think about all the drama that comes when you're not.
Let's touch on from a man perspective. The woman wants to have a baby. And a lot of women feel that, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get pregnant and have a baby, and he'll come around because he wants to be in this baby's life.
Yeah.
So let's touch on the aspect of how do men feel about that. When they don't want to get married and a lady gets pregnant and she has a baby out of wedlock, thinking that eventually that man's going to come to her.
Yeah, see, a lot of times some guys are just cabin stabbing. They're just moving from house to house. And the idea that I'm going to get him, by having this baby, is just really some kind of faulty mental exercise that I think a lot of ladies kind of get into. I mean, trust me, there are guys who will sleep with you and don't have no problem, with you being pregnant with his child and 9 other more, right? We call them deadbeat dads. They don't pay child support. They're the ones who, the ladies are constantly, talking about in their circles. They put the attorney general's office on them. There are guys who will do that. But let's say that is not the gentleman that we're talking about. You're talking about a guy, educated or not, employed or not, but has some sense of mooring, a desirable guy.
Exactly.
Right?
Okay.
There are some who find honor to be still something that plays a large part in their life. And so if, in the off chance, the lady gets pregnant, there are some who would see that as their responsibility. But the responsibility, oddly enough, is not always to the woman.
Right.
It's to the child.
Right.
And so, yes, you had my child, but my allegiance is to the baby, is not to you.
Right.
At least not now.
Exactly.
Right,
exactly.
at least not now.
Exactly.
And so what happens is, in a number of instances, what seems like it will be a joining factor, something that will unite the two, quite honestly, it just presents itself as another responsibility. And the goal that you were trying to accomplish, you still haven't met it. Right. Now, granted, it's a responsibility that you love. I mean, it's your child, it's your flesh and blood. You love him or her. But the ultimate, the motivation behind it, for example, you still missed it.
Right.
Right? And so you're in no better position. And we say, I thank God for the baby. Of course you do. Okay? But you're in no better position. You're still alone. And now you have an added responsibility. Plus, it has been reinforced that he didn't want you no way.
Right. And I think the ladies need to look at, when you have a child out of wedlock, that child eventually is going to need a father in their life.
Yeah.
And let's say the gentleman decide to step up and marry you because you had his baby. What type of relationship are you and that man going to have?
Yeah.
What is a man thinking in the back of his head? I mean, in the back of his mind, is he saying, I married you because you was pregnant, or you had my baby and I didn't want my baby to be out there? Is he saying, I married you because I love you? Because really, he's not marrying you. He may love you, but he's not marrying you because he loves you.
Right.
He's marrying you because now we got another factor in here, and we didn't go ahead and make this work. Now, I may have asked you to marry me down the line when I was situated.
Sure.
However you men think on how situation should be, but now you put something else in here.
Yeah.
And now I have to jump the gun, not ready. What type of relationship are you going to have with that man?
Right. That's a good question. I really think, that part of being conformed by the world, is this expectation that things have to be emotionally perfect, in order for people to get married. I say this all the time. I love my wife. I loved her at day one, but I love her differently
Right.
at year 15. Right? I loved her on day one, but I don't love her the same way.
Right.
And there are a lot of folks who get married, for the wrong, well, I'm going to say for the wrong reason,
Exactly.
for reasons other than I am so emotionally attached to you, I can't breathe unless you in my space.
Exactly.
Exactly. Folks get married because people get pregnant, or folks get married because they made a personal pact with themselves that I'm not going to sleep with anybody else, and then they break it, and then they decide I'm not going to exploit another man. I'm not going to exploit another woman, and so they make it work. So now, does that mean that there won't be any challenges? First of all, we know, you and I both know,
Yes. Yes.
in marriage, there are going to be some challenges, period. I don't care if you worship the ground they walk on. There are going to be some issues, so don't trip, okay? But in a situation, because watch this, the woman is thinking, I wonder if he married me just because of the baby.
Always.
And it might be the kind of obstacle to where he's already resolved in his mind. Not only is this the right thing, I am going to commit myself to loving not only my child, but my wife. And that may be, she may have such a hurdle that no matter what he does, he can't really overcome that.
Exactly.
At least not in the short term.
Exactly.
Right? And so, so that...
And on both sides.
Well, true.
On both sides.
She trapped me.
Yes.
Because that's what the brother's thinking. Mess around and trap me. I had to gamble one time too many, and they got snake eyes.
Yeah.
Right, so now what I'm going to do, honorable guy,